Mylec Hockey is your leading provider in ball hockey equipment and proud sponsor of the National Ball Hockey League. Mylec has been around for 50 plus years pioneering the sport of off-ice hockey, creating the iconic orange ball, which is the most used and recognized ball around the world. Mylec's MK5 ball is the official ball of the National Ball Hockey League, weighing a little heavier than the original no-bounce ball at 66 grams. The heavier ball reduces bounce a little and also plays a little truer than the traditional no-bounce orange ball that you're used to. To check out the MK5 ball and all the other products Mylec has to offer, head over to Mylec.com and use promo code Commish Chat at checkout for 15% off. Once again, that's promo code Commish Chat, COMMISHCHAT at checkout for 15% off.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Commish Chat Podcast for our Mylec Cup preview episode. I'm Anthony Sanrocco, NBHL Commissioner, joined by TJ Janus and Gianni Sanrocco. We're going to talk through the Mylec Cup. Boys, how we doing?
It's Mylec Cup week.
We're here.
That's what I know.
That's all we know, I think, for the past couple of weeks is Mylec Cup, Mylec Cup, Mylec Cup.
Yeah, it's been chaotic, good chaotic. I think I use the word chaotic a lot on this podcast to describe things.
Probably.
But this is the ultimate chaos of the NBHL is prepping this tournament. It'll be some long days for us getting ready, but it's all worth it for a little biased here, but my favorite tournament in the sport. It's gonna be awesome.
It's just tying up loose ends all week, basically, and finishing everything, wrapping up everything, so we can get the final product out there. But yeah, no, super excited. Off work Thursday and Friday to prep the rinks for Mylec Cup, so ready for that.
Yeah, if you're listening to this and it's Thursday and you're in Jersey or you're getting to Jersey Friday morning, we'll be at the rink. Come say hi, come say what's up, come check it out. I mean, help us out if you want to. We'll have some things to move around. We'll take all the help we can get. But yeah, the time is here. The time is now, and 38 teams coming to Jersey. It's our biggest one yet. We had 17 the first year. Now we're more than double this year. So it's in 3 years, it's grown a lot already.
It's absurd. I was looking at the standings. I mean, not that any game has been played, of course, but just like on our website, like 18 tier 2 teams. I was like, what the?
It's crazy.
Well, like, that is actually, 17,
Asterisk,
right?
yeah.
Technically. Yeah. But yeah, I was just like, that is absurd. Like an 17 team tournament. It's pretty insane.
Yeah, I mean, the tournament's grown a lot since year one, but I think that we've grown a lot too. I feel we learn a lot every single year when we do this, and I feel like we're the most prepared that we've been for this one, than the 2 years before.
Yeah, I think the amount of stress I felt from a preparation standpoint, this is the least stress I've felt. Not that it hasn't been stressful. It's been extremely stressful. But I remember year one, I literally didn't sleep. And now I'm, I sleep. So I guess that's an improvement. All my stress this year is weather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah, I would feel 10 times better if it weren't for that forecast right now.
I know. And I think we need to shout out Stribe here.
Yeah.
In our group chat, he says to us, what was it? Probably it was last
for Thursday or Friday, maybe.
Yeah. And he goes, the Mylec Cup weather is looking beautiful or something on those lines. And
he said chef's kiss.
Yeah, that's right. The little chef's kiss.
Yeah.
And we were all like, shut up, Stribe. Like, you cannot say that. Like, you're going to jinx us.
Instantly, I was thinking that, but I didn't want to say it. Like, I just checked the weather, probably 2 hours before that. I was like, Stribe, god damn it.
And now
look at where we're at now.
Now I check the forecast every 30 seconds. We're looking at 2.4 inches of rain on Saturday. There's still some time. The time of this recording is not the time it will be released, so hopefully that changes from then till the Mylec Cup. But it's an outdoor sport. We're playing through the rain, and it's going to be interesting to see how teams adjust to the rinks, the deck, and now the rain aspect. It adds a totally different element to it. Beyond that, a lot of prep work, and our website is, if you haven't seen it yet, it's updated with our Mylec Cup tab. That's going to have info on the live stream, on the schedule, on the stats, on the standings, on the scores. Everything will be updated in real time and will be for anybody to take a look at. So NBHL.com, those are Mylec Cup tab. That's where everything's at. And games start Friday. I've heard a few people have made comments to me like, oh, that team's schedule is so easy, or that team's schedule is ridiculously hard. And basically, the schedule was made in like April. We make that schedule super, super far ahead of time to avoid like the bias. Like we set it up like, Chicago tier 2 was playing against North Jersey tier 2, and we set up groups and brackets. And basically, once teams establish their spot at the Mylec Cup, we just plug them into the schedule wherever they're supposed to be. And that is what it is. Now, this year we did have some slight changes late because of the whole situation with Vengeance in Massachusetts. So I did have to make a couple changes, but only shifted around maybe 2 or 3 games, like opponent wise. But it's done as fairly as we can make it. And it is as loaded as it could possibly be. We have 9 games Friday. We've got 14 games on all 3 rinks at the Marlton rinks on Saturday. I think it's 8 or 9 at the Medford rink on Saturday. And then
I
Sunday.
think it's still like 3 p.m. I think at Medford.
Yeah. They all start at 8.
4.
I think the last one's at 3.
Yeah.
So we are packed. These games are back to back to back. It's going to be a long day, long couple days. But and yeah, I guess that's one of the bigger differences this year's 2 facilities. It's always been held just at the Marlton rinks, the 3-rink facility. It's amazing complex, and now we are having a handful of games over at the Medford rink. There'll be some tier 3 games, some tier 2 games, I believe 1 women's game over there. And that rink I was at the rinks the other day. It took me 16 minutes to get from Marlton to Medford. So it's not too far. If you're looking on our website right now, that Medford rink is going to be known as the Washington Wealth Group rink. The Bucked Up rink, which was the championship rink we had last year, will remain as the Bucked Up rink for this year. The rink closest to the parking lot, if you're coming in from the the business parking lot, that rink is going to be the Clear Rum rink, and the rink that is closest to like the scoreboards in the front, that's going to be the Ocean Casino Resort rink. So 4 rinks. For those of you who will be watching from afar, what I just said probably means nothing to you, but you'll at least be able to figure out where you're watching your streams based on what the rink is, and that's all on the schedule on the NBHL.com. Point system wise, 3-2-1-0 system, just like the regular season. Playoffs, 3-on-3 overtime, and then a 3-shooter shootout, all the way up until the semifinals on playoff Sunday. Once we hit the semifinals, it'll be continuous overtime. We'll have 3 officials on the floor for for all the games. We've got, I think it's 21 officials. Our rep and chief Mike Wabi's leading that crew. I think we've got I want to say 17 divisions represented by our officials crew. So we try to get
It's impressive.
Yeah. Pretty diverse group of officials, and hopefully they learn a lot and keep getting better. It's the officials that we have are the best of the best, so it's going to be as well officiated as a tournament I think could possibly be. And having that 3rd official on the floor, I know some people aren't crazy about that system, but having an extra set of eyes on the rink, I don't think ever hurts. So food truck, we'll have Labella Pizza there. We'll have some acai bowls there. We'll have a taco truck there. Mylec will be there selling gloves, selling shin pads, sticks, elbow pads. I think they might be bringing some helmets to sell. So we'll have that stuff. We'll have NBHL gear with the Mylec Cup logo. We'll have NBHL hats, NBHL hoodies. The only thing I wanted to ask people, please try not to steal the Mylec Cup balls this year. I think we ordered a good amount last year, and by Sunday we were scrambling to get balls for these games, and we ordered.
I'll say I think in between every single game I had to do like a lap around the woods, and I would pick up like 5 to 10, and I would like go around and look in it, just like bags and stuff. Like, oh, Mylec Cup ball, toss it back on the rink.
Yeah, I remember we had them like the box of balls like pretty out in the open, kind of near our tent. So this year we're gonna have to like safeguard them a little bit and not have them as accessible.
Yeah.
So we don't run out.
Yeah, I mean, come later on Sunday if you find one and you want to take it. We're not gonna say anything, but you're stealing 5 balls on Saturday morning. You're hurting us a little bit. So please don't do that.
Yeah.
But with that, let's let's get into these previews. We'll just go tier by tier, highlight some games, highlight the history of it, and talk about what we're expecting to happen this year. So, start off in tier
Yeah.
one. We've only had one team win the Mylec Cup in tier one, which is the Penn Hills Imperium, and they're coming back for round 3. Format wise, we have 2 teams per division that qualify. But this year, as we've explained prior on this podcast, the format is a little bit different. So we have 4 tier 1 divisions, meaning that we'll have 4 winners and 4 runner-ups qualify for the Mylec Cup. So in the preliminary round, each team plays 3 games, and the winners will play all the other winners, and the runner-ups will play all the runner-ups. Come playoff time, the 4 winners will be seeded 1 to 4. The 4 runner-ups will be seeded 5 to 8. And then the 7 and 8 seeds in the runner-up group will be eliminated and will not qualify for the playoffs. So that means we'll have 6 teams in the playoffs. The 1 and 2 seeds from the championship bracket will get a bye, and then the 3 seed will play the 6 seed, 4 seed will play the 5 seed. So a little different in the past. In the past, we've had, all the teams make it, but this year we made basically the championships in the division an extension of the Mylec Cup. That was essentially the first round of the tournament. In that upper bracket, we've got the Penn Hills Imperium, the Leominster Stars, the Belmar Hawks, and the Buffalo 716ers. Imperium and 716ers both making their 3rd appearance at the Mylec Cup. The Hawks are making their 2nd. Stars making their 1st in their first year. Although a lot of their players have been here before playing for different teams. A lot of them played for the Cleghorn Crooks a couple years ago. So those are the upper teams. I know the Imperium are short a couple guys. Stars are short a few bodies. Hawks are short a few bodies. 716ers are coming fully loaded. They've got pretty much everybody coming. But those are 4 teams. They won their championships. They had incredible seasons, and they're going to be the games you want to watch. They're going to be the ones you're going to want to set aside and make sure you're checking out.
Yeah, I feel like, every team's good in this tournament, of course, but I think I remember that weren't the 716ers like pretty short prior years? I feel like them with a full squad could be pretty dangerous. So we'll see.
Yeah, they've had, they lost in the quarters in 2021, lost in the semis last year, and I know they're hungry to take that next step this year, and they've got the bodies to do it. But they'll have some tough teams to take on. And even in the lower bracket, we've got the Steel City Showstoppers, Oak Ridge Owls, Marlton Dogs, and Niagara Daredevils. And these 4 teams, kind of like the upper bracket, the Daredevils are the only team coming with pretty much their whole roster. They're short like 2 or 3 bodies, but they still have almost everybody there. The Showstoppers are coming with a very different looking team than what they competed with in the regular season. They've got basically 3 or 4 of their rostered players. Called up a lot of tier 2 guys to fill out the roster, but they'll have a squad. They'll have a good squad, even without, missing some key players. But different look for the Showstoppers for sure. I know the Dogs, even though they're from Marlton, they're the local team. They're missing a ton of people because of they have a wedding. A lot of players are at I think it's local, so I think these players will be missing maybe Saturday. They'll be back Sunday type deal, but they're missing some key players. And Owls, they had a couple tier 2 call ups. I know their biggest one is they called up Zach Buckland from tier 2, so it'll be cool to see lit up tier 2 Mass. We'll see how he does in tier 1 up here. But again, lower bracket is pretty much just as insane as the upper bracket.
Yeah, it's tier 1.
Yeah.
There's no slouches, I don't think, in all the teams that are Mylec Cup contenders. Any of them can take it all. So even if they're in the lower bracket, they can still do it.
Yeah, and games to watch, we've got Friday night, the 9 p.m. game rematch from last year's, the Belmar Hawks and Penn Hills Imperium. The Imperium beat them last year, but Friday night under the lights, pretty good crowd at the rink last year for Friday night. So that'll be that game. And right before that, we'll have Dogs versus Showstoppers. So back-to-back Pittsburgh versus Jersey matchups to kick it off Friday night. Saturday, some key games. 2:00 is the Leominster Stars versus the Imperium. back in 2021, the Imperium played the Stars, and I believe it was the semifinals, and eliminated them. And a lot of those Stars players are now, I'm sorry, they eliminated the Crooks,
You said the
in
Crooks.
2021.
Yeah.
Now a lot of those Crooks players are on the Stars, and it's somewhat of a rematch, and should be a good one to watch. Another rematch will be Saturday at 6, which is the Dogs and the Oak Ridge Owls. Last year in the quarterfinals, the Dogs played the Owls, and it was an insane game. I want to say the Owls had a 2-1 lead. The Dogs scored too late to make it 3-2. Steve Cyan.
That game was insane. Yeah.
It was one of the best.
Wasn't that the game where he scored that
The ridiculous goal.
unreal goal? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. We got like the nice video of that. Yeah, that game was insane.
So that'll be one to watch. And then a couple hours later, we've got the Imperium versus the 716ers. And both of these teams, it's the third time coming to the Mylec Cup, but they've actually never faced each other. So, yeah, the 716ers have played the Pioneers. They played the Pioneers, I think, twice the first year. And they played the Battalion last year. And the Imperium have played, I think, the Goodfellas they played the first year. And they played, I guess, the Daredevils last year. So, first time we'll have these two powerhouses matching up, which will be
yeah, I'm excited for that
that'll
one.
be a fun one. Final's going to be Sunday, 7:30. It's our third final. We have them in order right now as the women's tier is the first final, tier 3 is the second final, tier 1 is the third final, tier 2 is the final, and they go 5:30, 6:30, 7:30, 8:30. So all back to back, same rink, all be on the Twitch live stream. Not going to want to miss those. But yeah, tier 1 will be the third final, and it's going to be awesome. I mean, we've got a back-to-back champion that everybody's gunning for, but a lot of teams who have been here before have had some really good games, have extremely talented rosters, made some good call-ups, and are picking up some really, really talented tier 2 players. And I don't know what to expect besides incredible hockey.
I mean, literally some of the best players in the country are coming out to this tournament. I mean, it's kind of unheard of for all these guys to be together. So, yeah, it's just going to be extremely good ball hockey and hopefully clean hockey and nothing crazy. So, looking forward to, showcasing the sport's best.
Yeah, I think, TJ said there's a lot of the sport's most talented players coming. There's also a lot of the sport's most talented players who aren't coming because they didn't make it. So it's a privilege for these guys. You aren't guaranteed to be in this tournament. You're not, just because you're the best doesn't mean you're going to make it. So you don't know when you're going to be back. So you got to take advantage while you're here.
And I get feedback often from teams and divisions like, hey, our division's really good. We should get 2 teams in the Mylec Cup. We should get 3 teams in the Mylec Cup. And what I always say back is the Mylec Cup is like you have to earn your spot. Like you can't just because you're good. Like there are teams that did not make this Mylec Cup that could win it. That could have won it.
Yeah.
But that's the difference of Mylec Cup is you really have to earn your spot, and we're not just going to give these spots away. It's funny saying that after we gave a spot to Vengeance, but that was a weird exception. But in general, you have to earn your spot. Like that was a one-time thing that we hope to never have to do ever again. But we make it tough to qualify for a reason and make it, have a little bit of a different feel for it than your standard tournament where pretty much anyone can enter and play.
Exactly. I think that's, kind of like one of the core, I guess, like principles of the league is like, you have to commit to a full season. You have to win, to make it. And it's kind of the one thing that kind of, we like to live by, I guess. And yeah, you got to earn it. And if you don't make it, you can't play in it. So, it's the way it goes.
So that'll sum up tier 1, I guess. Any last words about tier 1, boys?
I don't know. Will the Imperium win? Find out in a few days.
Yeah, we will. We definitely will.
Integral Hockey Stick Sales and Repair has been providing ball hockey and ice hockey players with the best quality hockey sticks at bargain prices for over a decade. As ball hockey has become much more competitive over the years, we understand there's a growing need for reliable sticks that help enhance the quality of players' shots and stick handling. Ball hockey players can now purchase top models of Bauer, CCM, and Warrior Pro Stock sticks at up to 70% off retail prices. Integral Hockey Stick Sales and Repair has now saved hockey players throughout North America in excess of $27 million on stick costs. Integral Hockey patented repair process is the only repair in the world that brings the stick back to like-new condition, where even ex-NHLers cannot tell the stick was ever broken. Integral Hockey is so confident in their system that they offer a lifetime warranty on all repairs. Try it once and you'll never want to pay retail prices ever again.
So we move on here to women's. So women's format, a little bit different from tier 1, where we have 4 women's tiers, and only the winner of each women's tier qualified for the Mylec Cup. And with there only being 4 teams, all the teams play each other in the round robin. So everybody sees everybody on Friday or Saturday. Then we get to the playoffs, and you're getting a rematch. You're playing somebody you've already played before. 1 versus 4, 2 versus 3, and then we get to the finals. So it's a 5-game path to winning it all. Whereas tier 1 could be, I guess, up to 6 games is not too much more. But tier 2 is even bigger than that. But 5-game path to winning it all. We've got, these 4 teams. We've got the New England Nightmares from Massachusetts, our women's tier. Marlton Cavalry from New Jersey Philly, another Marlton team qualifying. The DC Lady Bing Blossoms from the DC women's tier. And the McKeesport Riddlers from Pittsburgh tier or women's tier. All these teams are qualifying to the Mylec Cup for the first time. Vastly different picture from tier 1, where I believe every team besides the Stars has played in the Mylec Cup before. Well, let me rephrase. Has qualified for it. The Showstoppers were not at the Mylec Cup last year, but they did qualify. Whereas women's, all 4 of these teams did not make it. Last year's champions, the Watatic Wild and the Steel City Snipes, both lost in their women's tier final. So they almost made it back, but they did not. So yeah, there's 4 teams, and these teams are really going to get to know each other. Got a few players who did play in the Mylec Cup last year for women's who are back. We have the draft system. And, rosters get rearranged a little bit. So there are players here who are not here for the first time. One of which being Melissa Sweeney, who is the women's tier commissioner. And she's got a little shit for it, honestly. People are saying it's rigged or something like that. Yeah. And it's just, last year she got drafted on the Atlantic City Deck Queens, and they had a great season. Won that division, and then this year she got drafted to the Marlton Cavalry, and that's just a team that I think if you asked a lot of players in that Jersey Philly women's tier, they wouldn't have had the Cavalry winning that division, but they had some unexpected players come out of nowhere and end up being great, and she's back for the 2nd year in a row. So congrats to Melissa, and it's good to have return players who know what they're getting into, know what this tournament feel is like. And the one thing I hope we get back was last year, the DC Daiquiris, they brought their mascot, and I'm hoping, I don't know what a Lady Bing Blossom mascot would be. We already talked about this a little bit, but it'd be like a flower or something, right?
Like a tree. Yeah, I feel like that could be done, executed well.
So why not, right?
Whether it's the women's tier or not, we just need some team of 38 to just bring a cool, mascot.
Yeah, this podcast is coming out on Thursday, so if you're listening to it now, you have like 1 day to put together your mascot if you haven't already.
And Halloween's coming up. There's a couple party warehouses not far from the rink, so make a pit stop.
The Nightmares
something to do.
Could probably really find some good stuff at that store.
I won't say who, but I do know that there is at least one mascot coming. But we will let that be a surprise. I know of at least one.
It's got to be the Burger Boys. I don't know.
It's not, but
you just want it to be the Burger Boys.
Yeah.
They just have the burger head. I think they were there last year, or maybe that was when we were in Cali. But yeah, I'm expecting big things from that.
Yeah, we'll see. The Daiquiri set the bar high for the Bing Blossoms this year, so we'll see if they're up to it. But if not, we're gonna have 4 extremely talented women's teams competing at this Mylec Cup. Games to watch: the Friday night 8 p.m. game. That's the first women's tier game of the tournament. Got the hometown Marlton Cavalry taking on the DC Lady Bing Blossoms. That'll be on I believe that's on the Ocean Casino Resort rink.
That is correct.
Yeah, so that's going to be really good game. Then Saturday morning at 10 a.m., we've got the New England Nightmares and McKeesport Riddlers. Both teams' first game of the tournament and a rematch of the two divisions who played in last year's finals. Last year we had a Mass Pitt final, and this is obviously Mass and Pittsburgh going head to head here. There's some national team players in these teams. These teams are legit. That game's going to be one of the best ones on Saturday for sure. And then 6 and 7 p.m. on the Ocean Casino rink, we've got back-to-back women's games. They're kind of spread out throughout, Friday we've got one. They're kind of sporadic earlier Saturday. But then we get to 6 and 7, you've got back-to-back women's games. So if you're coming to watch the women, find the Ocean Casino Resort rink, and we've got the Blossoms and the Riddlers playing at 6. We've got the Riddlers and the Cavalry playing at 7. So get the opportunity to see everybody. We got the semifinals. They're Sunday at 2. Finals are Sunday at 5:30. And 4 new teams. We'll see who's crowned the second women's tier NBHL champion. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I know we said earlier there's, it's 4 teams, it's a small bracket. And I think the thing that I always hear every single time when I play in a hockey tournament, ever since I started playing men's tournaments, it's hard to beat a team twice in the same tournament. And every single playoff matchup is going to be a rematch. So, teams are going to have to be conscious of that when they're playing them on Saturday. Make sure, you got to scout out what your opponents are doing and really pay attention, because you are guaranteed to see at least 1 or 2 of them again on Sunday.
All right, now we'll move on here to Tier 2. So Tier 2 is by far our biggest group here. We've got 17 teams competing, 18 teams playing. Due to the odd number of teams, we've got South Jersey Majestic, who was the 3rd place finisher in South Jersey Tier 2, playing 1 game on Friday night to even out the schedule for us. We have 1 team that qualifies per division. In divisions with 7 or less teams, we had 2 teams qualify in, I believe it's 5 divisions. Gianni and TJ, can you name the 5 divisions that get 2 teams in Tier 2 at the Mylec Cup?
Yeah.
South Jersey. Unless you're not going to question us because they technically have 3, right?
No, this is no tricks here. No tricks here.
Mass.
Yep.
Pitt.
Does New England get 2? No.
Mm-mm.
No. God, our East Coast bias is showing here, isn't it?
Buffalo.
Yep.
Buffalo.
There's one more.
No.
North Jersey.
Oh,
North
North Jersey. We always forget about the North
You
Jersey
did that last
people.
podcast too.
We're so absorbed in our own South Jersey.
Yeah. South Jersey, Philly area. We're sorry, North Jersey.
We love you, we promise.
It makes a 17-team pool, which the first year it was 7. Last year, I think it was 16. So there's only one team up from last year. 2021, we had the Mays Landing Mojo, South Jersey Tier 2, win it all. Last year, we had the South Coast Chargers in New England Tier 2, win it all. Chargers are back, so they have a chance to, win this title a second
Defend
time.
their title.
Yep.
Yeah.
With the 6 or 17 teams, the schedule's a little bit odd. So on Saturday night, all the prelim games finish by around 7 p.m. And then at Saturday night, I think it's at 9 p.m., we have the 16 and 17 seeds play against each other. And the winner of that advances to playing on Saturday.
Sunday.
On Sunday, yeah. I'm sorry. Playoffs, it's 1 plays 16, 2 plays 15, and so on. So the champions are playing 4 games that day. It's a long day. It's a long weekend. But Tier 2, I mean, we've said this before on this podcast. I got no idea who's going to win.
I was thinking the same thing. I literally have no idea looking at this list. That's what makes it so exciting.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say I know in any of the tiers, but Tier 2, it's just all these teams are so good, had such good seasons, took such a path to get here that I could say almost any of them. I mean, not almost, literally any of them can win this thing.
That's crazy. Last week you were so confident the Flyers were going to win it.
Yeah, you're right.
I had someone text me and say, "How are you going to answer that question and bleep out every single answer?" And I'm like, "Yeah, well, we actually just said the Flyers for every single one. We didn't actually make any predictions." But so yeah, games to watch. Friday night, first game of the tournament. We've got a couple at 7 o'clock, but we've got the Long Island Ball Hockey Club versus the Atlantic City Chimney Fish. Just the Chimney Fish, they are just pure hustle, pure grind. Long Island is just extremely skilled, talented team. It's going to be such an awesome game to start off the tournament. Saturday, we've got, great games all day, but the first one of the day is a Mylec Cup Tier 2 final rematch at 8 a.m., which is the Maple Shade Chiefs and South Coast Chargers. That's going to be an amazing game. And at the same time, we've got the Orlando Mutiny playing the A-Town Tropics, and we've got the Mill City Warriors versus the Southside Rats. So we've started off with three amazing matchups. Saturday, 11 a.m., we've got the Northside Militia versus the A-Town Tropics. That's on the Bucked Up rink. That's going to be, that Militia team is physical. They're strong. The A-Town Tropics are young. They're fast. It's two very differently built teams, and it's going to be a hell of a game. 3 p.m., we've got the Bantams versus Buffalo Wear-It, two division champions. Just another game that's going to be pretty amazing to watch. 5 p.m., we've got the Long Island Sound versus the Bay Area Bashers. Bashers this year come with a full squad. Last year, they came pretty short, had two lines. I want to say they had like 9, maybe 10 bodies for Sunday. They were in rough shape, so will not be the case this year. And the Long Island Sound, they're young, they're fast, they're hungry. I know they want it bad. So those are just a handful. Like you could, pick out of a hat any game in Tier 2. They're all going to be awesome to watch. Playoffs, they start first thing Saturday morning. Finals will be the last one Sunday at 8:30 under the lights. Tier 2 is going to be crazy. A cool little tidbit is Butler Bantams and Northside Militia. They're wearing, they all have purple stickers on their helmets. They're in honor of Aiden Bartley. He's a 10-year-old player, plays in the Butler ball hockey community with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. And they're wearing that to honor him. We're going to send out info on his GoFundMe and help him out. Just a great thing that they're doing. They're rivals on the rink, but they united for this. It's a, great cause. And, we're trying to raise some awareness for Aiden, and we're pulling for you. So with that, Tier 2, Mylec Cup.
Yeah, we'll see. I know the Bashers. I'm excited to see them come back with some deck experience now and a full roster. So I think they can do some, more damage than they did last year. So we'll see.
Are you guys ready to get bucked up? If you're looking for something to give you the energy, focus, and endurance you need to conquer your next game or workout, then Bucked Up is for you. Bucked Up just released a new line of endurance products perfect for NBHL players and fans alike. Let me just mention a few. Go all out with Bucked Up's new Full Bore product, which focuses on blood flow and bringing more oxygen to the lungs and muscles. It also has other innovative clinical ingredients which will give you the stamina and power to push through the pain in practice, during workouts, and in games. Bucked Up's long range contains a proper balance of carbohydrates and sodium to refuel your body during your exercises, and Bucked Up IV will also restore the fluids and electrolytes that you sweat out during games. Also, be sure to check out Bucked Up's #1 best-selling pre-workout products to help take your training sessions to the next level. Head over to buckedup.com and use promo code NBHL20 to get 20% off your next order. Once again, that's promo code NBHL20 to get 20% off your next order.
Last but certainly not least, Tier 3. 9 teams, 9 different states, our most geographically diverse division or tier in the NBHL. And we've got the Columbus Counts, the Boston Rattlers, the Savage Ogopogos. First ever representation for their divisions. Their new divisions this year. So got an Indiana team coming for the first time. We'll see how they do. It's going to be interesting. I keep saying Indiana like they're from Indiana. They're from Ohio, but they play in the
division.
We'll Indiana tier, but close enough.
Columbus. Nothing crazy happened in Columbus the past few days, I don't think, but we'll see.
2022 champion was the Queen City Crowns, Carolina Tier 3. will not be back. However, they do have multiple players who got called up to play in Tier 2. They've got a couple players who are on the Southside Rats, and they've got a defenseman on the Massive Vengeance. So Queen City Crowns, they played Tier 3 last year in the Mylec Cup. They played Tier 3 in Carolina this year, but they get their chance to play in Tier 2 for the first time. It'll be interesting to see how they adjust to that.
I don't think that only those amount of guys is going to be enough to justify the party bus again, right?
I hope a team brings a bus.
That was the coolest thing. I mean, if you want to win Tier 3, bring a party bus.
It's worked 100% of the time so far.
It has never not worked, so
Yeah.
something to think about. Scheduling wise, all three teams play three preliminary games besides the Jersey Dinos. So we have 8 Tier 3 divisions, but we have 9 teams at the Mylec Cup. Philly Tier 3 had more than 7 teams, so they get 2 teams at the Mylec Cup. Jersey Dinos lost to the Delco Devils in the finals, making them the only team that is not a champion. So because of that, they have to play 4 prelim games. And they're all Saturday. They have a long Saturday ahead of them. Their most points in the game will count toward their standings. Their lowest point game will count towards their standings, and then the middle 2 games will average together. So Jersey Dinos, they get 4 games, probably have some tired legs going into Sunday, but they had a 4-game weekend in Philly Tier 3 too. They're pretty well equipped for this, if anybody.
And they have less travel, so
they do.
They have the right cards going for them right now. But yeah.
So yeah, Dino's the only team with 4 games. Playoff wise, we'll have an 8-9 playing game on Sunday morning, and then we'll have the standard 8-team playoff. So 1-8, 2-7, 3-6, 4-5. 7-game pass to the finals, unless you are the Dinos and get in the 8-9 game, then you could play up to 8 games. So that's definitely the longest path anybody has. So getting out of that 8-9 game, I think, is pretty crucial in Tier 3. I mean, obviously, it's crucial. Games to watch. Friday night, 7 p.m., we've got the Savage Ogopogos and Delco Devils kicking off Tier 3. Should be a great game. Devils, good mix of, young kids and some vets. Ogopogos are a new squad, some new players that we haven't seen before. And should be a really good game to start it off. Saturday morning, 10 a.m., we've got the Red River Rougarou versus the Jersey Dinos. Last year, the Rougarou, not really the Rougarou, they were the,
Hot
the
sauce.
hot sauce. They lost to the Pottstown Mud Dogs, who won Philly Tier 3. So they got eliminated by Philly Tier 3. Now they get to play Philly Tier 3 again. Semi-rematch, I guess. Saturday at 2, we've got the Burger Boys and the Raleigh Squall. The Burger Boys last year, they got eliminated by the Queen City Crowns overtime in the semifinals. So this is their chance to get revenge on the state of North Carolina, I guess. That should be another good one. Last game slot of the night, 9 p.m. We've got the Cold Snacks versus the Rougarou. 2 of the 3 westernmost teams in Tier 3. Obviously, the Burger Boys are out west as well. But we got the Counts. They play at 9. They play at 12. They play at 8. They're coming into this undefeated. We'll see if they can hold that up. See if they suffer their first loss. So that's the Mylec Cup. 38 teams. And 4 new champions or returning champions, I guess. Time will tell. But that's our quick little summary, and I just can't wait for these games to get started. We work all year for this, and people follow us on social media, watch these highlights, watch these games, and this is what it all comes down to. And these teams are hungry; they want to win, and these games are gonna. You're not going to want to miss them. Whether you're tuning on the live streams, you're coming to the rinks and watching live. These are the games you don't want to miss.
Yeah. Just say wish all the teams the best of luck. Hope you have a fun weekend. Again, like Ant said, we work all year for this, so we really hope you have a good time. To the fans, if you're listening to this in the car on the way, make sure you tune into the streams and like all our stuff on social media. It's a huge weekend for us, so helps us promote the league a ton. So we appreciate all that. And I don't know, I think maybe we should just give some of these guys some Mylec Cup advice, since this is our third Mylec Cup.
Yeah, not a bad idea. What do you got, Jay?
I'll say, players, when you get on the rink, take a note of where the camera is, and if you do anything cool, just make sure you're as close to the camera as you can be. You want to get those highlights in sweet 1080p with a good angle of view in the net.
Yeah, take a look around, see what photographers are around the rink. Make sure you're on the right rink.
give
Yeah,
us a nice
look
selling.
photogenic out there.
Yeah, nice little celly, some passion always goes a long way in these highlights. So,
Absolutely.
I mean, from a, you know, I guess medical perspective, not necessarily medical, but make sure you stay hydrated. You're playing 3 or 4 games in a day. These games are intense. These games are fought hard. Make sure you stay hydrated. Make sure you eat. Make sure you're just get pumped up. Just get fired up for these games.
Get bucked up. Get
Yeah,
bucked
get
up.
bucked up. Get bucked up. I just remember when I played in the Mylec Cup the first year for the Seattle Cold Snacks. I was really excited. I'm not gonna say I wasn't, but it was tough to focus on the games because I was doing so much outside of it. So if you're there and you do get to play, like just appreciate it, enjoy it. Just be ready to play and have an awesome time because now I haven't played in the past couple years, and although I joke sometimes that I don't ever want to play in the Mylec Cup because of the amount of work that it would take to be there, I would love to play in this tournament again. I hope I get the chance someday. So just enjoy it and I guess stay hydrated still.
Yeah. My only other piece of advice would be is we can still suspend you during the Mylec Cup, so just be smart. And that's it.
Yeah, we had a player who said some things he should not have said in the opening game of the Mylec Cup, and we said, "Yeah, you're done for the weekend." So that does not change here.
Yeah, it's our last little reminder to you.
Yeah.
So,
but with that, safe travels, everybody. Hopefully, you're listening on your car ride or your flight or your lunch break, something.
bus ride, whatever it is.
Yeah,
Hitchhiking walk.
whatever means of transportation necessary. But yeah, good luck to everybody, and can't wait to see you in Jersey. And if you see us, you got something you want to say about the league, good or bad, come tell us. This league only gets better with feedback. I know we sent out some surveys. Hopefully people are filling those out. But if you want to come talk to us in person and say, hey, you guys got to do this differently in our division, come tell us. We will listen and we will try to make it work.
Yeah.
So good luck, everybody.
Yeah. Good luck, everyone. And we'll catch you on the next one when we review and reveal who have, won all these championships.
Yeah, good luck, everyone. See you all in Marlton. All right, everyone, we're going to go ahead into the party room. If you want to grab your shoes from the cart and line up at the double doors.